It's been a good haul on this day. Rubies now destined for international markets, with profits these workers will never see. Al Jazeera, Mogok, Myanmar.
Well, you're with Al Jazeera. There's plenty more still ahead in this hour, including US Muslims under the spotlight, why civil liberties groups are at odds with the views of one Republican congressman.
And I'm Nazanin Bashiri in Tunis as the RCD, the party that helped Ben Ali rule for 23 years, is dissolved.
Places we go and things we see determine what we know and who we are. Open your eyes to a world of documentaries. Witness at this time on Al Jazeera.
On the next Riz Khan show, is there rising Islamophobia in the US? We examine controversial hearings in Congress about the so-called radicalization of American Muslims.
Riz Khan at this time on Al Jazeera.
Hello again, our top stories here on Al Jazeera. Forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi have launched airstrikes against the rebels in the Libyan town of Ras Lanuf. Dozens of people are reported to have been killed and 2 oil installations have been hit. Both sides are claiming successes in AlZaweera, meanwhile, where some 40 people are believed to have been killed in Wednesday's fighting alone. A diplomatic war is being waged as well. Senior representatives from Gaddafi's government have been sent to Egypt, Portugal and Belgium on a series of diplomatic missions. And there's been renewed violence in Egypt. It's being blamed on loyalists of the former regime. Protesters were attacked in Cairo's Tahrir Square, where they've been pressing for political reform to be sped up. Now back to Libya, and in London, a mansion owned by Saif Gaddafi, the son of Libya's ruler, has been seized by a group of activists and squatters. The group calls itself Topple the Tyrants. It says they will stay in the house and until that house and other properties are returned to the Libyan people. Emma Hayward has more.
Well, this is the home of Saif Gaddafi, one of the sons of Muammar Gaddafi. So, in effect, this large house in this exclusive part of North London is, in effect, a Gaddafi family asset. It's worth around $15 million. We think it's got a sauna and a swimming pool inside. Now, those inside at the moment are from a group called Topple the Tyrants. They managed to get in earlier today. We don't know how, because we can only imagine that an exclusive house like this is heavily fortified. What they've done, they've put up these large banners calling for an end to President Gaddafi's regime in Libya. They say that this asset, this house, was gotten through ill-gotten gains, so it should be handed back to the Libyan people. Now, a short while ago, a group of Libyan men also arrived. They managed to get in through a window here. They said they won't damage the property while they're inside. They got up on the roof and they've said that this house now belongs to the Libyan people and it should be handed back to them.
Britain's Foreign Office says there will be a day of reckoning for the people who beat up a team of BBC journalists in Libya. The British broadcaster said 2 reporters and their security expert were detained and subjected to mock executions. The journalists had been trying to reach the western city of AlZaweera. A number of other reporters have been arrested in recent days as they tried to evade the control of their government minders. Now, while they were in captivity for some 24 hours, the BBC journalist shared a cell with other prisoners, and this is what they saw while inside.
Most of them, they have hooded and handcuffed really tightly, all swollen hands, broken ribs, they were in agony. They were screaming.
I found in this cell around 10 to 12 prisoners. 2 of them Egyptians, all are Libyans. The majority of them from AlJazeera. I understand from other guys that they are fighters, or they accuse them that they are fighters against Muammar Gaddafi's army. 4 of them were in a very bad situation. Their torture appear on their faces and their bodies.
They've been tortured?
Yeah, sure.
There was a big operation going on there, and from 2nd floor I heard a lot of screaming, and I can't describe. It was horrible, the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a lot of bad stuff.
Some of them told me that he has 2 at least ribs broken. I tried to spend at least 6 hours helping them to drink and eat, to sleep, to move from side to another. They were in a very, very bad situation.
Well, Tunisia is pressing on with its political transformation. The court has now dissolved the party of President Zine Abidine Ben Ali, who was toppled in January. Ben Ali used the RCD party as a way of maintaining his power, and he ruled Tunisia for more than 2 decades. Nazanin Moshiri was with the crowd outside the courthouse in the capital, Tunis.
This is an extraordinary end to a party that once had the membership of more than 2 million people. These people say they no longer want to be associated with the remnants of Tunisia's past regime.
Well, Republican senators in the U.S. state of Wisconsin have dealt another blow to unionized public workers. For more on this, let's get back to Jane Dutton in our Washington, D.C. News Center. Jane.
Thank you, Tamer. Well, the Wisconsin Senate has voted to remove nearly all collective bargaining rights held by those employed in the public sector. Republicans pushed through the measures in spite of opposition from Democrat senators who've been absent from the legislature for nearly 3 weeks in protest. Camille El-Hassani has more.
It's called the nuclear option in U.S. politics. Republicans in the Wisconsin State Senate split the fiscal portion out of a contentious budget bill, meaning only a simple majority was needed for passage. And the bill did pass. Only 1 Republican voted against the measure. The controversial part of the bill is a provision which strips state employees of most of their union rights. Republican Governor Scott Walker said the move was needed to fill a projected $3.6 billion state budget deficit. He says the changes would save $300 million and that teachers need to start paying more towards their pension and benefits. Union leaders said Walker was trying to balance the budget on the backs of their members. School teachers and other state employees occupied the state capitol building for weeks in the tens of thousands to protest, and they were backed up by Democrats in the state legislature. 14 Democratic senators fled Wisconsin nearly 3 weeks ago to prevent a vote. They said they wouldn't come back until Governor Walker negotiated, something he flat out refused to do. Now they're expected to come back, but are facing a $100 per day fine for their absence. After the vote, Walker praised the legislature for taking a step to balance the budget and reform government. Wisconsin has now become the first state to seriously curb union benefits after the recession. A number of other states are considering similar proposals, but